I guess we're recording, Carol.
Ah,
Yeah, I think we are.
okay. Just so you know, other than in a training, you and I have never recorded together. So this is.
So now, there you go. This is the
Oh,
first, right? This is amazing. So I'm going to say this. Aloha, everybody. This is Ernesto and my really good friend, Carol. We've been through a lot of things together, situations, and a long time ago when we were pre-licensed clinicians, right?
yep. I knew you back in the day when you were just a punk intern. But I was even less of a punk intern.
There you go. And so if you want any dirt on me, Carol has a lot of them.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to get more, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I'm interviewing my friend Carol because one, she is amazing. Two, she will be have a table on Kauai for the Kauai Retreat next year, and it's going to be very very exciting because I'm telling you, out of everyone that I know, she can pull off a lot of things all at the same time. And I'm really excited about what she's going to be revealing on Kauai. But before we go into that, um, I want to introduce you to Carol. Carol, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Oh, hi, I'm Carol Rose Adkisson, or as Joe likes to say, I'm Carol.
Carol.
Like you're Ernesto. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but I'm licensed marriage family therapist. I'm a transformational trainer. I
Wow.
got many years of 12-step recovery. Obviously, I'm a clinician. Obviously, I'm a goofball, a mother of 3 kids. Dog and cat are now jumping all around me. And I have a nonprofit and I have my private practice, and I'm on a mission that I think I've intuitively been working on
Mm,
all my life.
wow.
And so, Joe likes to say I'm an overnight sensation in a lot of years.
That's awesome. Well, I think that's how it goes. I think we go through the process internally, and then when we put words to them, when we do our marketing, our branding, it just comes out natural. And it sounds like that is what's happening with you.
Yes, it's always been intuitive. And again, I'm going to blame everything on you, so you might as well just take that in right
Take
now.
that in.
Because you didn't do the Facebook Live with me, I ended up doing it on my own, which, by the way, thank you very much for, not doing that with me, because it turned out that that's the way it was supposed to happen.
Wow.
Because once I did that, it was like I owned it. And from there on out, I've done a lot of them.
Yes, yes. And I've been watching a lot of the things that you're doing, and it's very, very impressive. And we'll go into your book, but there's a lot of things that we want to talk into and get into. I know that we're going to be promoting some of this on Kauai, but I really want to promote it prior to Kauai, right? And again, for those of you who haven't registered for Kauai, please do so. The link is going to be up above, and you are going to have a chance to meet Carol and the great things she's going to be offering to you and some of the awesome things. You got to meet her. She's a hugger, so you got to meet her.
I'm a cuddle bug, which again, I shouldn't be based on my history, but I am.
Yes. So here's the thing I wanted to ask you. Now, you and I went back and forth about, how to communicate, what you've got planned, and you got something incredibly interesting. And I just want to read this. You sent me this, and the title of this is Unmasking Therapy, right? And you said, I am on a mission to unmask therapy because healing comes through connection. That is a very powerful, powerful tagline. So can you speak a little bit more to that?
Well, healing through connection has been my tagline for my businesses all along. I added in the other portion, but unmasking therapy, like, first of all, we're therapists, and so I believe that we need to show up and
Mm,
be experienced as a real person.
mm,
And this is, don't get me on my bandwagon because I'll get started. But I want I want courses and literature in colleges that are talking about this stuff, because it is self-disclosure in some ways. It is knowing who you are. You can't know who you can serve until you know who you are. And if you're hiding behind a mask, because isn't that what we're taught? No self-disclosure, all clinicians really. We hide behind that mask, we put that clinical distance. If we're doing that, then how are we going to best serve the people that need to see that we're authentically real? I don't like that word authentic only because it's just been kind of overdone, but really that's what it is. It's just me.
Yeah. And I'm with you on this. I think the more that people see us, right, the real us, not the full on, I'm overburdening you with everything about me, but the human side of you, right? I think that is a very, very powerful approach to connecting with other people. Now, how does that, from your perspective, being authentic, being open, being you, foster connection?
I think it gives them the message that they can do it too, like that they can be real too. Now, if I'm speaking about a client, of course, it's always got to be about the client. If it's not about the client, then this is Carol going, oh, I need to, get attention and I'm attention seeking. And that's never where it comes from. And the point is they get that because I tell them this is something that benefits you, then I'll speak it. Otherwise, there's no, place for it in there. So, but it gives the message for them to open up.
Right.
And it's like Joe says to me, I can't help. She's such a good friend. That the only way I can show up is me, Carol. Like I tend to connect the minute I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what happens. And it's not like I'm walking around trying to guess how to do this thing. It's just that I have lost many people in my life, and I know you understand that feeling. And that started at a very young age. And so I made sure I was having intentional relationships with people, making sure I was connecting with them from the moment that we met.
Yeah. And I think that's a very, very powerful message because, I resonate with that, and I resonate with your brand and your message just because I'm a very attachment kind of person. Like I attach to you. I listen. I love getting connected to people. That's why I'm all over the place. Because I just love meeting people who align with my energy, and I think you are doing a really, really good job at sounding the alarm that, okay, you can do all the modalities, you can do all of these techniques, but what it comes down to, what I'm hearing you saying, Carol, is your attachment to human beings, to others, correct?
Yeah, that's it. I believe the healing comes, and I used to say this in interviews and people probably thought I was nuts. Like they'd ask me, how do you connect to the kids? Because I was working with 14 to 18-year-old boys and girls, they're getting themselves into trouble. But once they can feel that you care, that's when you got them.
Yeah.
And from there on out, it's easy peasy.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I think there is an unsaid energy that comes out when someone experiences your authenticity, right? They feel a sense of connection because they're not guessing.
Yeah, no, what they see is what they get. What you see on video, on at home with my kids, everywhere I go is still me. I don't change.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. So let's go into the transition. Okay, Carol, let's take a deep breath here. You got a podcast, you've got a nonprofit, you got a book. Where do we start? I mean, you are one of those, by virtue, you are not the typical psychotherapist.
Oh, yeah, I'm a hybrid for sure, but not typical is, I think, a little, minimizing. I am a hybrid,
I love that.
That I've been working on, like the transformational training for 10 years and all of that. I tend to pull from that 12-step, modalities, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever's in my bag of tricks that needs to be in that moment, that's what I do.
Okay, so let's do this. One by one, from what I know, of what you have as far as your brand, about what we want to let people know about you right now. Let's go one by one. You've got a podcast. Let's talk about that podcast. What is the mission of that podcast, and what's the title of it?
It's called Curious Intentions. I'm doing that with Mark Winkler, who is a life coach and an LCSW. And I met him at a camp meeting, and we connected. Well, it turned out, because we have the exact same background. We're both transformational training people, and we have a group out here that kind of, once you've been involved deeply, you go much, much deeper into it. So that the point to this is getting curious about subject matter without having a polarized point of view. And just, whatever the thing is that we're bringing up, it's not wrong, bad, or broken, it's neutral, right? It's just a neutral place. And if you can do that in life, can you imagine, oh, I don't have to take that personal or that personal or that personal. It's just neutral. It's just data. It's just feedback.
And so you're saying that this podcast is all about just being curious, not being overly critical about your emotional experience, even your personal experience, just sitting back and going, what's coming up for me? What is going on?
Yeah. So, I mean, we get curious about something and we'll just say, geez, that is so interesting. Just, noticing that alone can shift your life. But we always get a choice.
Absolutely. And I love this approach to sorry about there's a truck right behind me here. I don't know if you can hear it, but I love this approach that your podcast is bringing this out, because a lot of times we experience that visceral emotional response when we experience something, right? Instead of sitting back and going, what is going on within me? Why am I having this reaction? Mm-hmm. We react in a way, our bodies react in a way. That's what our bodies do. We just react in that way, instead of having our minds take control and go, let's be curious. Wow, I love that.
Right. So that really is, I don't do what you're saying. I do tend to go, gee, that's so interesting. So, if you think of it that way, I think I've been afraid up until now to deal with the critics. And once I really shifted to this place in the last year, I recognized how curious, I wonder what the critics are going to say.
Mm-hmm,
and I don't then.
Yeah.
I just get curious with them, and generally they're crying by the end of whatever we're talking about, because I didn't take the bait.
Yeah. Let me go back just a little bit. So Carol, is this podcast connected to your website?
Yes, it's on my website. Literally, I think if the IT people put up the link today, I'm hoping we're launching today.
Okay, awesome. So for those of you who are watching, that's just one area where I want you guys to go to. When you visit Carol's website, you will get on that link, listen to this podcast. It's just amazing. So we're going to jump onto another thing. Let's go with your nonprofit. Tell me a little bit more about your nonprofit.
So it's titled the Trauma and Healing Foundation. I've been working on that since I got licensed. And it took a long time. But my vision was lower cost counseling in the community. But I really did not know what it was about. I mean, I just knew I was supposed to do it. That's just what I felt. So I just started it. Along the way, my daughter has gotten a degree in research psychology, and she's going on to neuroscience and as a clinical psychologist. So I also would like to do studies under there.
Wow.
But it's like a wellness center. So we are supposed to move, I think, Sunday.
Wow.
So I have everybody on staff, from practicum students to interns to a couple of psychologists I have at my whatever. They're pretty. One of them's really well known. I've got a psychiatrist, and I've got a psych nurse, and I've got a nutritionist.
Wow. So this is a wellness center. This is a wellness center. So again, for those of you who are going to be visiting her website, check this out. I mean, I know she's building an empire, and I think she's on the way to doing that.
And yet I'm broke. I don't know how that works. Because I spent every penny making this happen this year.
Yeah, but Yeah, but that's the thing. When you start something like this, and I tell people all the time, start it. And you learn along the way, and the next thing you know, I don't know anyone who has a full on, okay, this is what's going to be happening. I'm going to start it now, and this is what I know it's going to happen. No, it's all over the place, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
this is
just
just a
organically
testimony.
forming, and that's the traumaandhealingfoundation.com or traumahealingfoundation.com. You can go either way. But that's my staff. I work under my private practice, Rose Adkisson. So there's separate things, but we are rebranding me. So carolroseatkisson.com will be, in more inclusive of not just the therapy and all the things that I do, but for the online courses. And
Yeah, I love that. For someone like you who is doing multiple things, I think that's the way to go as far as branding it. Now, you've got what I'm really excited about. I'm excited about everything that you're doing, but we're doing some revealing of some things on Kauai, and what I'm really, really wanted to let people know is to buy your book. Buy her book. I love the cover, and I even love the title, "Recovering My Life." Can you speak to this a little bit more?
again, this is one of those intuitive things. When I named this book, it didn't even cross my mind that I was just automatically creating. So recovering my life. I lost 100 and something pounds 8.5 years ago. Changed my life completely. But I also have 35 years in 12-step recovery. And that's more the codependency side, the not the addiction side, because food was more my addiction. That was my drug of choice, I would say. But recovering is just such a theme in my life of right now I'm making up for lost time, because now that I have finally gotten to this place, and who knows where I'll go in the future, I want to impart this to people, that you can shift your life at any time.
Wow, beautiful.
You don't have to wait until you're whatever. Well, let's just put it this way. It's never too late. It's just never too late.
Wow. And you are definitely a testimony of that. I mean, it's almost as if you had this reawakening, and then you're just hitting the ground with all of these beautiful things, and your puppy is right behind you. I freaking love it. Wow.
That's
How chill is that dog?
currently maybe chill, but she's also half Chihuahua in there. So
Yeah. And Carol, that book it resonates, I think, not only within that realm, but other people who want to recover their life. And it's a very emotional and very powerful approach to encouraging people, right?
right, because I believe that underneath everything I'm doing is to instill hope. I hear the word inspire. I tend to, kind of stand back from that one, only because it just sounds egotistical. But people tell me, so many people are starting businesses because I'm inspiring them through me pushing through my own glass walls.
Own it, right? Own
Right.
it. Once you own it, other people will as well.
Right. I'm speaking all over the place, and I'm speaking about things and writing articles and publishing all over the place. And it's not your standard stuff. Like I'm speaking at what is it called? The World Summit on Psychology, Psychotherapy, and Psychiatry. That is in San Diego in September. In October, I am on the mental health panel for obesity help, which, if you knew that arena, that's I broke through the glass ceiling, and that is the largest obesity convention in the country.
Wow.
And they're publishing me regularly. I'm like just a constant. They can't get enough articles from me. And it's so interesting that one of the people, there's only 4 of us on the panel, and one of them actually did my psych eval for my surgery.
Wow.
Years ago.
That,
So this is going to get interesting.
yeah, but you know, the thing is, that's amazing. That is why I think a lot of people, when they see you and they hear you, are very inspired by what you're doing, and it's never too late. So if anything, for those of you who are watching, please be encouraged that you know you can start at any point in time. And I think, Carol, what you did really well is that you started listening internally, right? Instead of all the noises outside of you, you started listening inside of you and going, you know what, I can do this. I can do this.
So, right. So I came up with the campaign, if I can do it, you can do it. And live your magnificent life just kind of came out of it because I'm human, you're human. I've been through stuff, you've been through stuff. So why not, if I can do it, you can do it.
Right.
It's not a cliche.
Yeah.
You know, I did it with 3 kids, my mom dying, you know, all of it happening all at the same time. And why not, whatever you're up against, if I can do it, you can do it, because
Yeah.
I'm nobody special. I'm just somebody who pushed through.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Carol, you are a keynote speaker. You are a presenter. You're an author. You're a clinician. You are a CEO. Let me think. You are a supervisor, a mentor. What are you not? I mean, seriously. So this is pretty. Oh, you're a dog owner.
And a cat owner. Yes. Yeah. I podcast. I don't know what I don't do, to be honest with you. You know, if I have an opportunity, I always say that I'm the female Ernesto, except without the ADHD, which I wish I had, because, you know, that's not fair. You took it all. Well, my kids took it all. All my kids took it all. But yes, and the Trauma Healing Foundation, I've been through very horrific trauma in my life. So, as Joe says, I shouldn't be here. I mean, for many, many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really, and you know, first of all, thank you. I do want to say thank you for sponsoring the Kauai Retreat. I mean, the energy level on Kauai with all of these beautiful clinicians just going to be, I don't know. I think I'm going to hibernate for about 4 weeks after, because it's just so amazing. And you're going to have a table with your books, correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
You know, but the online courses are also launching at that time. So I'm doing one on immigration psych evals that my heart is, that's my favorite thing to do, to see people get their residency status and for me to be along that journey with them. My dad was an immigrant. I didn't know him, so I understand it from the inside out. My daughter's boyfriend we're trying to bring from France right now is literally living it. The hoarding, which I would like to take around the country, the speaking I do on that, because really therapists are not informed.
Yeah.
The subject, and my mom was a hoarder, and I grew up around it, so I wanted to bring that in. And the other stuff, of course, is my bariatric stuff. I really want to inform therapists. You know, I went through the surgery. Some of the people on the panel have never been through the surgery that are, you know, talking about mental health. And I understand the emotional and mental healing and almost heck that you go through when you're stripped of that coping skill all at once. It's gone.
Wow. So again, for those of you who are watching, I will have on the YouTube channel a list of all of the things that Carol is doing, and the website where you could kind of explore and get to know her. She's, and also watch her live streaming video. It's incredibly encouraging, and there's so many things that she's doing right now, but I think all of them comes boiling down to one area, which is be encouraged, right? Be inspired, She is doing her part of being authentic and unmasking therapy. She's got tons of resources for you. She does training, and I do believe that you are going to be a CEU provider sometime in the future, correct?
Yeah, that's my homework for today, to finish the application. But I have already done courses through camp that they, have done CEUs for. I just need to fill out that form. You were going to look at it for me, as I remember correctly. And
Bring it over.
I'm working on it. Her. Yeah, because this, when Joe gives you homework, you get it done.
Yeah, you got to get it done. You got it. There's no going around it. You got to get it done. So, all right, I will have Carol's websites connected to this video on the Facebook posts, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn is all going to be there. So there is no excuse now for you not to reach out to Carol and really gain her expertise. And just get to know her. She's really cool. She's a really nice person. Like I said, she's a hugger, and she's going to be on Kauai. She's going to be.
Yeah, and I am going to be consulting there.
There
And
you go.
we haven't even mentioned that. I am consulting there because, if you don't understand yourself, you really can't get clear about the population that you're working with.
Awesome.
The point to it is that I'm here to do therapy. I'm not here to be a business coach or all of that, but I want to help you get in touch with really what you resonate with and where does that come from. And that's me speaking to therapists.
Awesome. Okay, Carol, thank you so much for this time. Like I said, I'll have all of her information for you to reach out to her. If you have not registered for the Kauai Retreat, please do so. The link is also going to be in this video and on all the posts. Right now, we are hovering around 115 attendees.
Yeah, we're taking over Kauai, and I've been there a few times, so it's near and dear to my heart. I have a friend that's going to come. Her father used to be the park and rec guy for.
This is so exciting. Thank you so much for again sponsoring the Kauai Retreat. Look out for all the information about her. And so again, Carol, thank you and aloha.
Aloha.